Where there is a lot of young money and a pack of wild men, there is a lot of extravagance and trouble. The Chiefs' payroll is $209 million with some megastars and an average age of 25.8 years old. What could go wrong? Well, stay tuned until the end of the video to see a lot more than just football, wine, and women. These are stupidly expensive things that the Kansas City bosses, the Chiefs, own. The Chiefs stars have copped some ridiculous stuff, but this is just absurd. Like that time Patrick Mahomes bought a Major League Baseball team. Patrick Mahomes has now become the youngest team owner in MLB history after purchasing a stake in the Kansas City Royals at the age of 24. Imagine being that young and owning a baseball team. Well, you can't because he was the youngest owner ever after this big boss buy. Now this of course happened after Mahomes scored one of the craziest contracts in the history of sports. So let's talk about that number. Mahomes signed a $503 million mega deal that lasts for 10 years. That is an average salary of over $50 million a year. So we will get to another jaw-dropping purchase that Patrick made that was uber lavish later on. When you have $503 million to spend, well, it's hard to go broke. But this next star almost went homeless. Earlier on in his career, Travis Kelce didn't have the bucks or the contract to support a spending spree that almost cost him to go broke. What were some of these necessities? Well, let's start off with Nike Mag self-lacing sneakers, patterned after the ones in Back to the Future, and a super expensive watch from a famous jeweler in Kansas City. Literally stupid purchases. Well, on the Club Shay Shay podcast, Kelce told Shannon Sharp, "I should have been on the ESPN documentary 30 for 30 broke the way I was spending." In spite of his hefty contract, by the end of his first year in the NFL, Kelce was struggling to pay rent. But nothing like that insanely over-the-top rare Rolex that Patty Mahomes bought. Wait until you hear about that one later. But let's not pretend that old Travis wasn't a player in more ways than one. The ladies' man had his own show called Catching Kelce, and was surrounded by 50 women in front of cameras. Off camera, he spent quite a lot of those hard-earned bucks in the club on bottles and girls, partying like a rich and famous good-looking athlete should. That lifestyle is as dangerous as it is seductive, and he spoke some wise words after this lesson. All the young guys in the league that have the opportunity to get that first big check from the NFL, save it, man. Find a financial advisor you trust that's gonna do right with your money. Travis is now spitting frugal facts. Although Kelce actually bought one of the most sleek cars you'll ever see, and you'll see it later in this video. But what if I told you this next player had a gold Rolls Royce? At 28 years old, Frank Clark reached a $74 million net worth as of 2021, and he knew how to flex in style. That flex came in the form of a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and it is a one-of-a-one custom jewel. Its gold caramel color definitely turns some heads. As beautiful as it is powerful, the Rolls-Royce comes with a 6.75-liter V12 twin-turbocharged engine which puts out 562 horsepower, a maximum torque of 627, and comes with an 8-speed automatic transmission, which helps the car reach 62 miles per hour in just 5 seconds and is a top speed electronically limited at 155 miles per hour. Now, the price for this car starts off at $335,000, but Frank's was much more because of how many custom upgrades, making it truly one of a kind. So it would be safe to say that this man loves his SUVs as well, as he also bought a yellow Lamborghini Urus, which was $230,000, and a burgundy Mercedes AMG G63 worth approximately $190,000. He sure knows how to pick his luxury SUVs. But just a reminder, they are not in LA or New York or Miami. We are talking stupid luxury and grandeur lifestyle in middle America. I mean, this is Kansas City for God's sake. So what is going on over there? Seems like all the winning has been blowing up their pockets. And Patrick Mahomes had to dig really deep into his pockets for this next mind-boggling purchase. So let's just say the young GOAT picked the GOAT of all watches. Patty has a great arm and can throw rainbows, but this rainbow comes with a pot of gold. This Rolex is one of a kind. The watch features a rainbow of 36 baguette-cut sapphires, with the case having a set with 56 more diamonds, and its hour markers coming in the form of 11 more sapphires. The Daytona rainbow is the centerpiece of Mahomes' collection. One watch expert said he had only seen this type of watch 3 times in his whole life, and the watch goes for a whopping $96,000. The grand total of his watch collection runs about $1 million. Watches seem to be a common thread here in Kansas City. Diamonds are forever, and the value of a Rolex just ages like fine wine and increases in value. And speaking of value, this next player brings the goods. The Chiefs are legit Super Bowl contenders with all the pro production of Chris Jones, a monster on defense but a Santa Claus on the holidays. The Chiefs are winning every day on and off the field. When Chris received his $80 million contract deal, he completely shocked his teammates by giving the entire roster Rolexes with diamonds as a Christmas gift. Yes, everyone. And he is certainly not on defense about his bank account. If you go to the comments section and take a guess on how much you think he spent on all this. Now that is a teammate, and I mean talk about Christmas spirit. Jones is one of the best defensive players in the world, maybe the best, and so is this next car. This bad boy belongs to none other than the bad boy himself, Travis Kelce. The Ohio native owns a custom Aston Martin Vanquish that is estimated to be worth $300,000. He is among many NFL players who own expensive cars, but this baby is just super sleek and classy. The tight end got a lot smarter with his money, as we mentioned before, but this gift was a must-have after his huge contract score. So if you want to go check out more about his car and his lifestyle, please go to our Travis Kelce video on our channel where we will talk about many jaw-dropping facts about him that maybe you didn't know. Travis and the team love strip clubs, and he mentioned something about a former Chiefs teammate, Dwayne Bowe, that is truly epic. Even though he hasn't been a Chief for a long time, this is worth mentioning. Kelce and Bowe were at a strip club in Dallas, and apparently Bowe made it rain to the tune of $25,000. Yeah, $25,000 in 20 minutes. That is over $1,000 a minute. So about Dwayne Bowe and their party at V-Live Gentlemen's that night, Travis Kelce said, "It's the Dwayne Bowe show, baby. He shuts it down, that's what he do." Now whether we are talking about girls battling for players, bottles popping on yachts, or owning big expensive homes, the life of an athlete is pretty much predictable. Even the weekly strip club splurges. But what comes next is just outright different. Next level baller status. Private planes are a luxury that most athletes don't have the cash for unless they want to go broke, but that's not the case with a $500 million contract. Let's be frank, between his endorsements and partnerships, Patrick Mahomes is one rich mother. And a rich mother that owns private jets. Patrick has one for himself and a fleet of other jets that he partners with AirShare. One of the most prominent faces of the NFL has his own private jet courtesy of AirShare. The CEO of AirShare, John Owen, noted that the partnership with the Chiefs quarterback started before he became a Kansas City Chief. The MVP has been riding in style ever since and has shares in the company. Yeah, the 2018 MVP has been flying his family to home games this whole time because, well, let's face it, he's a baller. Mahomes has made full use of a fleet of around 20 airplanes from the company. One is a light Phenom 100 four-seat jet that he typically uses to travel between his house in Dallas and Kansas City. But the family gets to ride first class on the Challenger 350 airplane. When flying to New York or Los Angeles, he uses the Phenom 300, which has 8 seats. Mahomes has a 10-seat Bombardier Challenger 350 that he can travel up to 540 miles per hour to Europe if needed. He used this one for his wife Brittany on their wedding in Hawaii and then their honeymoon on the island of St. Bart's. The Chiefs have a partnership with the private jet company as well. Mahomes and the Chiefs are literally flying high and living stupidly expensive. Imagine having a Wolf of Wall Street lifestyle and getting paid to play your favorite sport on planet Earth. Well, these guys have it all and are living it up, stupidly expensive.